Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Hello, Paula.
Hi, you're in your car.
I'm in my car. I'm in my car. It's a Thursday. Amelia's daycare is closed, and she's at home with my aunt. And I just can't work from home when
No.
she is there. She will just not let me. And so I was working from a coffee shop all morning, and then I'm like, well, I don't feel like recording a podcast in front of everyone. Although could have been nice publicity, but I'm not there yet.
We might have got some new members.
New members, maybe. So I'm just sitting in my car, and yeah. Like
We're
it's nice.
so yeah, we're continuing. So something that we're doing in our membership is because we really want to maximize on the time that Renee and I are together, which
Yeah.
isn't super often, not often enough for us to accomplish all the things that we want to accomplish. What we're doing right now in the membership is what we call car chronicles.
Yeah.
And it's just our way of getting shit done, and but also making it meaningful for our members and having good conversation, but it is all done within your car.
Yeah. And it's just how it's going to be. And I think it's part of, becoming an entrepreneur and also being part of the corporate world and just being moms and being busy and having lives. Like we're doing what we can with the time that we have. And
Yeah.
it is what it is. And it's fine. We're making it
I,
work.
I think we both have a really good mindset around that because
Yeah.
objectively I could look at that and be like, I
Too
think if I
complicated.
wasn't in this particular business, I think if you and I weren't partnered together, like I think we bring that out in each other, being like, let's just get shit done. And
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be perfect. It can be really messy. But like if
Yeah.
you would have told me a year ago, it's like, okay, you're gonna start this new business, which is a lot because you're already pretty busy, but you're gonna have to make it work. And that means you're gonna have to like be on your phone in the car talking to people. Like it's not what you would think it would be like when you're starting out a business, but it's also perfect in its own way. And like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually love it,
Mm.
like I think it's just very real.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when people think about launching a business or when they see people running their businesses, they're probably not seeing this part. They're probably
Exactly.
seeing it when it's like 5, 10 years down the road and they have this big office or this big building and it seems like it's all like very well put together. So I think it's nice that we're doing this. Like in 5 years from now, we'll be looking back and be like, oh my God, do you remember when?
Yeah. Anybody who has been an entrepreneur or is an entrepreneur will 100% get it. Like
Yeah,
for certain, but it's
yeah,
something until
yeah.
you are in that world, it's not something that you realize is happening or what it takes to do it. And like, so I really appreciate all like the podcasts and things like that you send me around entrepreneurship because I'm like, oh, okay, it is okay that we're doing this. It is okay that it's super
It's
messy.
normal.
It's
Yeah,
very normal.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's so
Cool.
funny. There's even someone that I follow online. Her name is oh my God, I'm forgetting it right now. Anyways, she shared how like 5, 10 years ago when she started her business, she was showing videos that she was making. And it was like in her kitchen, it was her husband like filming her, and it was like the lighting was not great. Like the everything was like super like basic. And now you look at her and she's running this like multi-million-dollar business and she has like this big like office, and she's like, but I didn't start here. Like it took years of like,
Right.
grinding and like working from weird places in order for her to get there. Anyways, it
100%.
was really inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is
Um,
kind of flipping the conversation though about what we're
yeah.
talking about today. We talked about it in our
Yes.
membership and it was just really timely because I was having a lot of these conversations in my corporate life because I kind of act as a mentor, quasi career counselor, but I also have like a lot of experience with just career coaching in my corporate life. And so I was having conversations with people around like why, I guess, why don't we show up proud? Like, what is it about feeling proud of ourselves that we shy away from and that we feel uncomfortable with? And
Yeah.
so it's, and I think like just to tie it back to the conversation we just had, it's like we could be like, oh my gosh, like, no, it's not perfect. Like, here's all of our flaws and here's all of the things that we're, not 100% at yet. And we could be
Yeah.
highlighting that instead of just being like, you know what, like, these are all the things we do have, and this is what we do have to offer. And it might not be,
Yeah.
aesthetically the best, but you know what? We're here and we're making it work. And so the conversation I had with this one person, and again, if you remember, you've heard this, but I was talking to her this week, and she had just done an interview, and she has all this previous experience that for this role that she was interviewing for, but it was like 8 years ago, 8 to 10 years ago, and she knows she has the experience, but I just knew already going into that conversation with her what she did. I didn't even need to be in the room based on just like the first 5 seconds of the conversation that I had with her and the experience I've had with her. I know that she went in there and she started talking about the gaps immediately, right? Like, I know I don't have this and I know it's been so long, but here's what I
Right.
have done. And it's like they've already lost you, like the butt
Yeah.
isn't going to save you, right? Like
Yeah.
you've already just highlighted everything, and it's like, and so what I said to her is I said, listen, like, you need to really have like a moment with yourself and really think about all the things you do know and what you could bring to this role and the experience that you do have, and like that's what you lead with always, right? Like that's the conversation to be had, in that that's what
Yeah.
they want to know about, right? They don't want to know about all the reasons why you might not know it, or why why it's been so long or whatever. Like, they want to know why you are the right fit. And
Mm.
so that's conversations I've had a lot in my career, but it's like, it's just so common and we're all guilty of it, right? Like,
Yeah.
but it's just interesting. It's like, I think what happens, and I've had it so many times in interview experiences in particular, is when people are asked, like, tell me about yourself, or why are you the right fit for this role, or like, what makes you the person, right?
Yeah.
Like, they want to almost like have a disclaimer, like when they first start talking, and say like, oh, I'm not the type of person who likes to brag about myself, or I don't want to be
Yeah.
seen too boastful. And it's
Yeah.
like, I always just like have a little moment of like I die inside a little bit every time they say it. I'm like, listen, I have 1 hour to talk to you, and if you are not going to sell yourself to me, like, I don't think anyone else is in this room is going to do that for you. Like,
Yeah.
who else is going to do that?
And I think it's always, well, for me, in the moments where it happened to me, because I think it does happen to everyone. I think it's like the fear of like the other people I'm talking to judging me, or like thinking like, oh my God, she's like so full of herself, or like she is exaggerating, or like almost like, are they going to believe what I'm going to say? And it's like, okay, there's that element of like fear of judgment, but also if I would be super confident in myself and in what I bring to the table and what I have to offer, would I really care about what they think?
Well,
Right?
exactly. And like, I'm sorry, like, let's just like take our own selves out of the equation, right? And just think about it. Like, if you've had a conversation with somebody who's really confident and like knows their shit and knows their worth,
Yeah.
like, I'm never walking away from those conversations going, who does she think she is? I'm
Same.
going like, holy shit, like, she's awesome, right? Like, wow, like
If
that.
something, I'm like inspired from like their ambition and their energy around themselves.
100%. Like,
Yeah.
there is a huge difference in somebody who is being like, quotation, like cocky, or, super arrogant or whatever. Like, I find those people it's almost like you're talking about something that is almost like not factual, in a sense where it's like maybe you're taking a lot of credit for something, or you are making something bigger than what it is. But being proud of yourself is actually like being very secure and grounded. Like there's a
Yeah.
difference, right?
Yeah.
And like we can all spot that. And so like if you're like, let's say you were working on a project or you own your own business, and you're just like super proud about what, like the work that you know that you've done, or how you're showing up each day, whatever that might look like that is, it's such an accomplishment. You should talk about that. You should be leading with that, right? Like that is like that main character energy, right? That we talk about. That's
Yeah.
what that is. But like saying like, we just know the difference of somebody who's like, oh, I'm doing all of this, but it's like, you know that they're just not. Like you just know there's authenticity that's missing, right? Like there's
Yeah.
just, you can tell, we all can tell.
I agree. And also, like, something that we talked about is like, why wouldn't you show up as yourself? Because first of all, if you show up as yourself, like completely yourself,
Mm.
you're stating how amazing you are, all the things that you can do, everything that you bring to the table. And let's say you don't get that role. This is the universe saying, like, I know that you wanted this, but this is actually not the role for you or not the environment for you. And I have something better that's more suited to like your skills, your personality, what you like. It's going to be more in alignment with who you are. And on the opposite, if you're going in there and you're not yourself and you're pretending to be someone you're not, and you do get that job, and then what? You're going to be miserable. You're going to
Yes,
be struggling probably because you've pretended that you were this person that you're not. And it's like you're not doing anyone a service by like not being your authentic self.
100%. And the other piece of that was, I used to have career counseling conversations in a previous employer that I worked with around people who, like, I had to have those sit down conversations. If you were like an internal candidate and you didn't get the job, like, I had to be the one to provide you feedback and basically explain to you why you didn't get the position. So you can imagine that. First of all, early in my career, those were super uncomfortable conversations for me to have with definitely more senior people than me at the time. And
Right.
and so I hated it at the beginning, until I realized, like, further along as I went and I saw the decisions that we were making, like, yes, when it landed on that other person, clearly it stung in that moment. Like, you're human, right? Rejection doesn't feel great in the moment, right? But
For
what I
anyone. Yeah.
realized, well, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't, like, whatever it is, if you feel rejected, it's gonna sting. So,
Yeah.
but what I realized is that it really was a redirection. Like, with those people, it was not something where maybe it made sense to them in that moment, but as their careers progressed, I always was able to connect the dots, and I loved having those conversations with them later on to be like, aren't you so happy that that didn't
Right.
work out, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love seeing that. And that's happened to me as well. Like, I shared yesterday in the membership, like, when I was coming off of mat leave, I went for a leadership position in something I was 100% qualified for, right? Like, that was just facts at that point. But I also took a long mat leave and was coming off, like, from that mat leave fresh. There were a lot of changes that had happened in the team, and there was somebody who was kind of holding down the fort while I was on mat leave, and they got the position. And, again, stung in that moment. I think now, almost 3 years later, like, that whole team doesn't even exist anymore. It was the culture was not something I wanted at all, right? Like, I was able to connect those dots to be like, oh, I was redirected. And like we say, the universe has our back, and like, we're not privy to all the conversations that are happening in all the meeting rooms and all the things all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So like, when those things happen, like, and you are getting that rejection, be like, you know what? This isn't always about your skill set, who you are as a person, all those things. This is actually just about the universe guiding you into the right direction. And
Mm.
to your point, if you're showing up as yourself and you're not worried about the judgment of other people, and you can just stand really firm and being proud and just authentically showing up as yourself, what an easier story to tell yourself that, you know what, I was redirected. And if they don't want me for me, well, then I don't want them either, right? Like, those aren't my people. That's not my thing. But if you go into those meetings or those interviews or whatever it could be, and you know that you're putting on a facade to impress other people and you're not being authentic to yourself, and then you get rejected, then there's regret. Because then there's like, well, what if I just would have really shown up as me? Right. And
Yeah.
like, that's what we want to avoid.
Yeah, and even like to get back to that example that you said at first of the person that really focused on the gap instead of the gain,
Yep.
it's like if she would have focused on what she had to offer and what like her strength, and she would have been like super, you know, like proud of herself and like laid all out, maybe the people interviewing her would have been, you know what? Maybe she does not have like that, like what we're looking for exactly, or she had it but from a long time ago. But what she just said right now, what she just showed us, is exactly what we're lacking in this business, and I think she would be an amazing asset. She might be rusty from like doing that type of work so long ago, but like the other things that she's going to bring to the table is going to really elevate this position and this business.
Do you know how many conversations I had like that where I met with a leader and they were making hiring decisions and they met with all their candidates and they said, you know what they have to bring, the other stuff is trainable. It suddenly that stuff becomes, oh, you know what? We'll make that other stuff work. We'll train,
Mhm.
we'll get them into this program, whatever it is. And suddenly that becomes less of an issue, while like at the beginning of the process, they might say, okay, this is really what's needed. But as
Yeah.
they're meeting with people, yeah, like they want people that they can work with and that like are themselves and who can bring a good energy and all those things. And like, so my recommendation always to those people is like lean in fully to who you are, show up
Yeah.
authentically, be proud, right, of what you've done, what you've accomplished. And if there is a gap, it's not to be delusional either, though, right? Like, I'm not saying like pretend that you know something or pretend that there's not, you know, a 10-year gap of like
Yeah.
the skill set that you're interviewing for, but like be proud
Don't
of what
lead
you've
with
done.
that.
Don't
Yeah.
lead with it. And like, then you can say, you can supplement it with, you know, oh, and I'm doing these trainings and I'm keeping up to speed by doing so and so to really
Yeah.
make sure that I'm staying fresh in what I'm doing. Like, there's always ways to, and like, again, like never lie. Like, that's never what you should be doing, but making sure that like it's understood, you know, your shit first and
Mhm.
foremost. And then if they have questions or concerns, then you can be like, oh, no worries. I'm also doing all these things, right? Like
Yeah.
that's such a difference that versus being like, I know I don't know, but you know, please like me and I can learn, you know, real quick. Like, no,
Exactly.
you know?
People feel the energy, and it's like I've had amazing interviews with like people that didn't really have the background that we were looking for, but they were so amazing and resourceful and like had incredible other skill sets that we were like, you know what, we're just going to make it work. We're going to teach that person what they don't know, and what we saw today, like we trust that they have the mindset that it takes to like learn quickly and bring so much more to the table. So
100%. And another
yeah.
thing, and this is actually like a statistic, I forget like the exact numbers now, but like, um, women will look at a job description, and if so we all know like a job description, and we know that there's a section that has like what is mandatory like requirements, right? So
Right.
there's a list. Women will look at that, and if they do not meet every requirement, they will not apply. There's like there's percentages out there of like what that looks like. I don't remember off the top of my head. Men will look at that, and if they hit like two or three of those requirements and there's, you know, 12 on there, applying interviewing,
Interesting.
likely will get the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And why is that? It's because they're leaning into what they do have and what they do own, like for themselves and their knowledge and their experience and their skills. And they're leading with that. And they're so
Mm.
confident in that. Where women
Yeah.
are like, oh, you know what? Like, I can't do it all. So I'm not going to do it at all.
That's where the overthinking takes
Yes.
over sometimes, I think. And I see it a lot, like you said, in women versus men when it comes
Yes.
to that stuff. And it's really like, just be bold, like be you, be bold, and like don't be afraid to like try new things and just like take a step forward. Like it's always, there's always going to be something in it for you to learn and to learn from, like to learn from and to move forward. Like it's
100%.
yeah.
Like, I just really recommend to all the women who are listening, if you are in any kind of corporate setting or any business setting or whatever, just put your man hat on.
Yeah.
Think
Yeah.
like a man. Say, if I were a man right now, if I what would be my next step?
Yeah.
And that will remove some barriers for you, I think, right away.
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's so
Yeah.
true though.
It is very true.
It's very true.
Yeah. Anyways, a good conversation. We like we said, we talked about it in the membership yesterday and we felt like it could resonate with so many people. So we don't typically spill the tea on what we talk about in the membership, but we just thought that this one could be very useful for our broader community, and so we
Yes.
wanted to share it. But as always, if you want more of this, more personalized, a more real life and a ton of content, our membership might just be what you're looking for. It's not too late to join. You can send us a message or check the links in our bio, and join us. We would love to have you.
We would love to have you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening or watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll talk soon.
Okay, bye everyone.
Okay. Bye.